Welcome back, Steel City Roundtable. I have two awesome guests with me today. We did this last week, but I deleted the whole thing, so we're doing it again. This is Wade and Jimmy, and they are from Wolfgang Hauling and Demolition. Guys, say hi.
What's going on, guys? My name is Wade Wolfgang. I'm the owner of Wolfgang Hauling and Demolition. I also have a background in chemistry and a degree in environmental chemistry as well.
Nerd.
Yeah,
Yep.
basically.
Jim?
I'm Jim. I'm 21. I met Wade a little while ago, so I'm also part of Wolfgang Hauling. I have a background in landscaping, and most education I have is high school. Started a company fresh out.
Well, this is what it's about, folks. We've met these guys. I met Wade when I moved into my house back in March. I had a shitty ass fridge in my basement that was leaking everywhere and it was completely frozen. And I called him because it was like, looking through a demo company in Pittsburgh, and his company came up and I called him. We talked for about 15 minutes that day. And I was like, bro, you own your own business. You're 25. You want to do the podcast?
We got down to it. Yeah, we really
right away.
started getting personal. I knew you were a good guy to talk to, and we kept in touch over Instagram. And
Don't say that. I'm not a good guy to talk to because I say some real dumb shit. But
hey, we all do.
But yeah, so I blew you off. And I ended up getting it done by somebody else because it was a little bit cheaper. I'm not gonna lie.
Of course.
A little bit cheaper. I didn't have any money because I just spent, $300,000 on a house.
Yeah.
And another $40,000 buying shit all over the place. So I was broke.
Since then, we've stopped doing all those minimum pickups. I don't want to say stop, but we have upped our minimum pickup price because, we have some massive projects going on right now. I just actually landed my second house demo like last night, got the confirmation, quote approved. So, if it's close, you were pretty close. We definitely try to help out in any way we can whenever somebody's struggling, but the projects just keep getting bigger and bigger. So we're definitely trying to put our attention towards those.
So that was 9 months ago. 9 months ago in March is when I contacted you the first time. And then I kind of went off the map again, like I always do. Like, I'm one of those people out of sight, out of mind. Like I didn't need the services, so we weren't friends, right? So I didn't reach out to you. And then I think it was about a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, you reached out. You're like, hey, I still want to do the podcast. I was like, who is this? Who is this? You're like, Wolfgang. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, let's do this. So we tried to make it happen last week. And Riverside FM, thank you for your service. But sometimes you truly, let's go this way. Let's go that way. Truly sucks sometimes. And it doesn't work, right? Okay, there we go. There we go.
It is.
But it deleted the whole episode. So I got to meet you guys and actually sit down and talk with you last week. And so this is going to be, I think, a better conversation.
Definitely, yeah.
Because now I know a lot more where you're coming from, but we're going to get back into some of the same stuff.
Definitely,
Jim, you left your own company. What was your company?
So it was Callaghan Landscaping. That's all we did. We cut grass. We did retaining walls. We did full remodels. We tore down walls and rebuilt them, mulch, rocks, all that fun stuff. But
fun stuff.
Fun. Yeah, I use that word lightly. But why I left in the end is it just wasn't very fulfilling for me. I didn't enjoy waking up and going to work every day. I didn't enjoy what I was doing. And I don't feel like the income I was making was an accurate reflection of the effort that was going into it.
Well, I mean, everybody who works blue collar work calculates dollars per hour.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Like with my job, I try to average $40 an hour. But what I have to do for that is sell my soul, right? And do everything I possibly can. And I drive a truck, so it's a little different than what you guys. You have your own schedule, and you set things up to fit your needs. So how did you go about starting your business? Because that's why I brought you as on more than anything, is because I want people to get a little information about how it is to start a business at 21.
Yeah.
Right. And at 25.
Yeah.
So why don't you guys each prospectively go through just like what the thought process was, what the motivation was, and how you got to the point where you started your own business.
Yeah. I'll jump into that. Yeah. I think we started a business in the same month.
Yeah. My business.
Didn't you say it was the same day?
It was mine was 9 days before Wade did.
August of 2023 is when we first started, and at this time I was working second shift in a chemistry lab back in York, PA. So I went to school at California University of PA, now Penn West University, just an hour south of Pittsburgh, and that's where I met my beautiful fiance, Emily. Thank you for everything, for putting up with me for the past 2 years.
I say that every day.
Oh man, it's been a ride. I mean, whenever I was working there, I was pulling my hair out, had my headphones in all day. I didn't really enjoy who I was working with. Didn't really enjoy what I was doing. I was sampling water and soil samples, and I started working on the back end, just kind of bought my LLC. My buddies were operating a junk removal and demolition company at the same time. So they would give
Their name is?
Heavy Load Hauling, York, PA.
Shout out Heavy Load Hauling.
Heavy Load Hauling. they really helped me get the motivation to like actually. I started hauling with a Honda Pilot and an 8-foot trailer, and I went to do like one little pickup a day. Just one small job, $100 a day. Then it turns into 2 jobs a day, and I started making more than the job that I've spent thousands of hours studying and staying up late and waking up early for. And I fell in love with it. I started bringing my friends along. We started doing bigger projects, getting into some demolition projects. And then I told myself as soon as I get my first business call online, after I set up all my Google stuff, I would move out to Pittsburgh. So I threw my dresser and my backpack into the back of a dump truck, moved out to Pittsburgh, stayed with my fiance's family for about 12 months. And we now have our own shop and a nice place to hang out with the guys. So.
I mean, there's something to be said about the pride you take in work that you initiate.
Oh yeah.
Right. Like, so I'm a worker bee, right?
Mhm.
Like I pick up a truck, I go where they tell me, I do what they tell me. So like the satisfaction is in that paycheck every Friday. Right.
Yeah.
And the fact that, I can do things like this and spend a little money here and there to enjoy life. So what's it like for you when you wake up in the morning and you got a busy ass day, but you also scheduled it that way?
Yeah.
Like, what's the total mind fuck that you go through on like the rough days?
Oh man. I mean, in the beginning, I didn't even know any of the locations. I didn't know if people would ask me where a job or where they're located. I had no clue how far away I was. I didn't know which dump I was going to go to. Like that was just a complete learning curve because I knew nothing about this area, about who was going to work for me, where I was going to take things. But now we've kind of become a little bit too comfortable sometimes. We kind of wake up in the morning and just figure it out. All right, what do we got on the schedule today?
Yeah.
But it's more so just making sure that we have like the tools and batteries and stuff needed to be prepared for the next day. Make sure machines are loaded up.
Your time management skills have to be excellent.
It's ridiculous.
Like literally, you have to be OCD, ADD, everything with a D at the end.
Yes.
In order to get shit done, because I know for me, like it's hard enough for me to plan to do a podcast on a weekend.
Yeah.
Like we just went shopping. My in-laws were coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I had to buy a new mattress for the sofa sleeper. Like, and then I got to come home. I got to clean the garage. Like I got a bunch of shit to do today that I'm not going to get done.
Yeah.
Like I already know I'm not going to get done.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not getting paid for it.
No, we have a list that we try to get done on a day, and then nothing gets done from that list, and other things go wrong, and we have to attend to them like immediately and figure out which dump we're going to go with this truck, and these guys are going to go hit this job by themselves, and we're going to go dump this off the scrapyard. Like it's just a mind fuck every single day, and you have to be on your game.
It's logistical magic sometimes.
Yeah.
Like sometimes there will be a job like, wow, that happened. That was crazy.
Yeah.
It's logistical magic.
Do you make? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Jimmy gets to my house, the shop, before I even get outside in the morning. He makes sure batteries are in the truck. We have the right tools ready to complete the job. Dollies, trash cans, machines, you name it. And
he's your Robin, Batman.
Oh, he's kicking ass right
yeah.
now. Yeah, that's the reason that like I said, we met like 2-3 months ago and just collected a sum of ridiculous,
a lot of stuff.
So we'll get into the story of how we met here.
Well, I mean, you can kind of get away with fly by the seat of my pants thing because you're still a small business.
Now we can.
But
it's
like,
also just a little slower right now.
But you've also built up from the 9 months I met you. Like I
Yes.
first talked to you. Like you said, you're taking like big jobs now.
Mm-hmm. We didn't
full
even have...
like big contracts, right?
Yeah.
So, as time goes on,
mm-hmm.
hopefully you're able to hone in those.
Oh yeah.
That skill, and you have him behind you. Like so what's it like working for Wade?
I don't feel like I work for him. I feel like I work alongside him. Because there's
once again, I said this the first time. I think you're paid to say that. I really do.
Well, we can get into that later, but because Wade and I, we have a mutual understanding of what it is to own and operate a business as a young man and as a young individual doing it yourself. So us both having that combined knowledge and understanding of what it is, you work constantly bouncing ideas off each other. Like, okay, what can we do to make this easier? And this has gone wrong. How do we fix this? How can we jerry rig this to make it work the way we want it to? Like the brush attachment that we have.
Yeah.
That was a quick solve for one of our big issues for cleaning up. And it just
with every
fix it
issue,
like
there is
that.
some kind of solution.
Exactly. So we're constantly, I feel like we operate almost on the same level, I would say, because we have a very mutual understanding.
Since you're on the mic now, tell me what it was like, what your mindset was, and what you were going through when you decided to start your business.
I don't know what was going through my mind when I decided to do that.
Apparently a lot.
But so by that time I believe I was 19 when I started my business. And by that point I had been doing landscaping for 6 years. So
nobody does that. Nobody does that. I didn't even know how to fucking change a tire in high school, yet alone do what you were doing in high school. I was out partying, having fun. Playing
Some people
sports.
just have that mechanical aptitude, right? Like they feel comfortable when things are a
It's
mess
not even a
and you gotta put 'em
mechanical
back together.
aptitude. I was just always out
He's
doing
a-
stuff.
he's a- yeah.
I was a worker. I still am a worker.
Mhm.
I love to work.
I mean, you got to be. You're in a blue collar industry.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
100% blue collar
Right.
industry. That's the other reason why I love you guys is because, you know, I'm 52. I'll
Mhm.
be 52, and I'm a blue collar guy.
Yeah.
Right. You know, like every job I've ever had, except for the police department, was manual labor, like
Hands on.
driving, construction, whatever.
Yep.
And I tell you what, man, there's nothing better. There's nothing better than a feeling of getting the shit done that you want to get done that day, and knowing that you did a good job.
Oh yes.
So back to your story. You know, you're 19. You're just
Yeah.
fucking around.
I had been doing landscaping for 6 years at that point, and I thought to myself, I was like, well, I know how to do everything, and I'm making like $17 an hour.
Yeah.
I know how to do all of this, and my boss at the time, he was making like $2 million a month.
Like, actually.
Yeah, $2 million a month.
Give me an address.
But
Seriously.
no, he was doing
Imagine.
$2 million a month. I'm sitting there, I'm making $18, $19 an hour, something like that. I'm like, okay, I know how to do all this shit. I'm gonna go start my own business. And I got my LLC. I started it. We made like $4,000 our first year because I started late in August.
Yeah.
And then the next year, boom, 150 grand. Just got a job, got another job.
4 months
got
in,
another-
you had a big year.
No, four
Like,
months.
You had 4 months of making very little, and then you just boom.
From August to December, we made like $4,000, maybe $5,000.
Can't really do much as a landscaping company. That
Yeah.
Unless you're going to do ice removal
then-
and
Right now, you-
shit like that.
The next year, from like March to October, 150 grand. Like I got this job, okay, and then I got a truck because I needed one.
Start your own
Yeah.
business, Jesus.
Don't.
He's like,
Think about
don't.
it. Think about it. Do your research first. It's not all glory and sparkles. And, no, it's none of that. But we had a super good year, and you know, I remember I was cutting this lady's lawn, and I'm doing the math in my head. I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, we got this job this week, and that one. I'm like, holy shit, I'm gonna make 10 grand this month, and that's what it's kind of like for me. It's like, oh, that's cool.
Until you need
Yeah.
a new mower. And
Yeah,
then
until
make
you need a new
negative
mower,
5
yeah.
grand.
And then it's like, okay, this month we're going to do 15 grand. And then we ended up doing 30, 40, 50 grand a month. It's like, this is crazy. And at that point, it started to get to be a little bit too much for me because I didn't have someone like I am the way to wait. That's
Yeah,
what I need.
Exactly.
Now I had,
Plateau.
Your go-to.
You
Your
can't
go-to.
do anything else. Yeah.
yes.
Well, I mean, you have to be able to micromanage, right? You have to be able
Absolutely.
to trust the people. You have to have people that are underneath you that you trust, that you can ask them to do tasks that you can't do, but you need to get done. And it sounds like you guys have that relationship after 3-4 months, which is crazy.
Especially
You know?
maintaining machines and stuff. Yeah,
Yes.
it's ridiculous. Like how we're trying to figure out our individual roles right now to prepare for next season. Like shit's breaking, everything's going wrong,
Shit
tarps are
really hits
breaking.
the
There's
fan.
like it's just unreal how much shit is going wrong right now, and I think they're just testing us for the end of for next
We
season.
just got to be happy it's happening now and not in June.
I am a firm believer life will throw everything it can at you to test you,
Yeah.
but it's only going to throw at you what you can handle.
Oh yeah.
It may seem like you're buried underneath the mountain, but you can still make it,
Yeah.
And during this conversation, this is a three-way conversation. Ask me whatever you want to ask me because I like conversations.
Okay.
I don't want to just ask you questions.
Definitely.
So if I touch on something you want to talk about, let me know.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's huge to realize that life is going to kick you in the balls repeatedly, knowing that you can get up.
Let me ask you: do you have a close relationship with your boss?
I like my boss, but he is my boss.
Do you see him like on a daily basis?
I see him probably 3 days a week.
Okay.
The thing about being a truck driver and working for a company as big as I work for, I mean, we have 760 drivers across the world. And it's a multi-billion-dollar business. It's not a trucking company. It is a business that happens to have a whole bunch of truck drivers. So, in the trucking industry, it's unfortunately, you can be friends with your boss to an extent.
Mhm.
I like my boss a lot. I think he's a good dude. But there's that line you can't cross sometimes, and it's tough for me because I'm a loudmouth, right? Like I make a lot of jokes. I fuck around a lot.
Oh, Jimmy pushes his.
Oh, we know
Yeah,
about
like
that.
I'm a button pusher. I'm a butter churner. I'm a button pusher, but it's at the end of the day, if I fuck up, he's got to fire me or he's got to discipline me, right? So there's still that line in the back of my mind always that says, well,
Yeah.
you're friends, but don't fuck up.
Yeah.
We have that
You know?
conversation all the times. Like, what happens when we actually? 'Cause
Yeah.
that-
Like, what would it actually?
that's a
take?
joke that we have amongst all of us. Like,
You-
somebody will do something. It's like, nah, you're fired. Like, Wade will get fired once a week, and I'll get fired
Yeah.
twice a week. But what happens when it comes down to like we actually have to fire somebody and they just say it's like, no,
Listen, I got disciplined like early December, I had a 3-day suspension for work for a policy that was, it's important to pay attention to the policies. It wasn't anything crazy. It was just I made a mistake and I got disciplined, and I was like, just fire me. Just fire me. Because now I'm going to come back to work after a 3-day suspension being worked up because I got suspended for 3 days.
Yeah.
And he's like, we're not going to fire you. I was like, fucking fire me.
Yeah.
But I'm like you guys, like sometimes I don't know where the line is. I like to run my mouth.
Yes.
I like to, like, my wife all day today was mad at me because I was just like fucking with her all day.
Yep.
Like just
Well,
pushing buttons all day.
Yeah.
But
we touched on this last time because I have 3 solid guys underneath me, Jim and 2 others. And before Jimmy came along, I was trying to create this barrier between boss and work. I didn't want to tell him my crazy college stories and tell him about my personal life and what I was not very transparent as far as like pricing goes, and the communication just wasn't all the way there. I was just trying to I was trying to toe that line. And then Jimmy came down and we had a couple conversations and just kind of knocked that wall down between bosses and workers, because he knows what it takes to be a boss. He knows, like, he reminds me daily.
As an employee, you have to have a holistic understanding of how the company works to work towards a common goal.
I was just going to say, knowing like pricing and
You
your
have to.
overhead
Yeah.
and, all that gives your employees a stake in the business.
They know what's going on.
Yeah, they feel like they're more than a number,
Oh, absolutely.
right? Like big companies, you're a number. I'm a number at my company.
Yeah.
Granted, they treat us pretty good. I'm still a number.
Yeah.
Like I could be replaced tomorrow.
Yeah.
In your situation, you can't replace him tomorrow.
No, I cannot.
Because if you replace him tomorrow, your
He
business is
knows
going to
that.
suffer.
Even my other guys know that. Like, I'm not actively looking right now. I mean, if I find another stud along the lines, then awesome.
Until you start getting even more business, then you're going to need another stud. And
Yeah. Well, next summer I'm going to need somebody that can actually drive truck, which we were talking about. I need someone with a CDL, because right now,
I take part-time jobs.
dude, honestly, like for some larger demos, I feel like we
You
have
supply the
lots to
truck.
do.
You supply the truck.
Yeah.
I'll drive it.
No, I'm dead serious. Like, if we need it, because what we did recently, I have a 2021 F600 that has not to get too deep. If we haul a trailer with it, we are immediately over CDL, so we can't. It's illegal.
Yeah.
So every once in a while, you got to do what you got to do. But whenever it comes down to it, Jimmy has. We just actually went not half. Helped him with a down payment, co-signer to buy a truck that can haul both of our machines at the same time. An
When you
excavator
get there,
and a
are they
mini skid.
fifth wheel? Are they fifth wheel?
Mine, no. His.
Well, they
Or
are
the equipment you pulling, is it fifth wheel?
no,
Okay,
No,
so it's
truck and
gooseneck.
trailer.
Both
It's gooseneck.
vehicle-
No gooseneck, because I have a
Okay,
dumpster
so it's
on
just
the
a-
back.
okay.
So
just a
imagine-
bumper. Yep.
Yep.
Well, if you ever decide to go and get like a hot shot trailer or something
yeah.
like that, go to Penske, go to Ryder, rent a truck for a week when you have a big job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or-
Until you can buy a used one
Yeah.
for, like an 8-year-old truck for used and get a good price on it,
Yeah.
maybe a fleet vehicle.
Oh, yeah.
And then run it that way, and then you can run bigger loads because the weight goes up when you add that fucking
Well, what
that
we wanna
class A
do-
that weight class to it.
we want to get. I have 2 roll-offs right now that can pick up each dumpster, so it's always a logistical game of which dumpster is going to pick up this truck, and are we going to load the
Physical
concrete in this one, because one can handle more weight than the other. But we're looking for a 30-yard roll-off, so we don't have to rent dumpsters anymore. We're done running excavators. We're done renting dumpsters. That's what I want to.
We're not done running it. We just
here-
rented one last week.
here and
Shut
there,
up.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's another overhead you don't think about when you start a business is
Yeah.
the stuff you have to rent. that you
Oh,
don't
absolutely.
have until you can buy it. So then you end up buying like something that's like 8 years
Yeah.
old that is going to work instead of renting a new one that when you pay it off in like 6 months.
Yeah.
I always had a problem with renting for my company because I didn't feel like it was fair to the customer that I charged them
For
the
equipment.
full rental price, because it's not their fault that I don't have that equipment. But
Yeah.
yeah, you have to, or else
Yeah,
you
it's
lose
overhead.
money.
It's
Yeah.
overhead.
Yeah, that was always my whole gripe with renting. Is just like it's not their problem that I don't.
I
have
mean, it's
equipment,
just it's like everything else. It's like renting versus owning a house. Where's that money going in the rent? Nowhere. Right? You buy your own equipment, you recoup that money over 4, 5, 6 years, whatever it is, and then your prices can actually be adjusted because
Yeah.
now you're not having to charge that extra fee for.
I actually tell people that, like, they're like, well, you can charge more that you have an excavator now. No, I can actually go a little bit lower for like a typical shed demolition if we can go and pick the thing up over top of a fence. or
As long as you
something like
cover
that.
maintenance costs, you know what
Exactly.
I mean?
Yeah. It's much more affordable, less work. If Jimmy, I always joke about this. If Jimmy was around during the days when we were taking down sheds and cutting every single deck by hand and picking up logs over our shoulders and hauling them up hills, I don't think you would be here.
I'd have
You-
quit.
No, maybe-
I'd have quit
maybe-
already if I
maybe
worked
you
for you.
stuck down.
You say
And my other 2 guys, they were down and dirty, and now they're really feeling the I'm trying to make it easier for everyone.
You say that, but you wouldn't have survived the first year.
No, I don't think I would.
You wouldn't have fucking
But
made
like,
it.
if we're at the
No,
point,
I understand.
At that point, you wouldn't have stopped
Comparatively.
your thing. Yeah,
Comparatively,
like, it all works out for a reason. Every person that I've met along the way moving here, I've had workers try to steal from me before. I've had people do me dirty, and you just gotta weed them out and keep going in the right direction.
Well, I mean, I do have a background in investigations.
Yeah.
Oh, we
Yeah.
know who did it.
No, I mean like this is a big thing
This
for
is
people
pretty
in
easy.
business. Like if you're in a blue collar business, blue collar industry, you need to do criminal backgrounds. You have to do criminal backgrounds
Yes.
because, for example, the guy that built my fence, he hired a guy that the first day here he had to leave at 12 o'clock to go to drug court.
Yeah.
Like you don't want those people working
No,
for you,
absolutely
and by those
not.
people, I mean people that are active in the system.
Yeah.
That have active charges that are going to be missing work for court dates, missing work for, if they get locked up, So criminal backgrounds are extremely important. And there's so many services out there that you can use, but you can also go to the magisterial district docket sheets
Get a background. Yeah.
and do a name and a year, and it'll tell you all the public record information.
Especially if someone's going to be driving a truck. Like,
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
You can look up traffic, criminal, misdemeanor, anything they've ever been charged with. That is a closed case it'll be in there and you can look at it.
Yeah.
So like I could look up Wade,
I'm sure
Wade
you
Wolfgang
can.
with the year you were born.
There's a lot out there.
If there's anything on there, like even non-traffic
good stuff.
even non-traffic citations for like being drunk and disorderly.
Yeah.
All that shit shows up.
Yep.
Unless it's been expunged and it doesn't show on your record.
I know there is something to be said about those people because not they get a bad rap. They get a bad rap. There are some
it's
people
just like
who are
everybody.
genuinely trying to get their shit together and they're working and they
Sometimes
show
they're
up.
the best fucking workers.
Yeah. Oh, they're always. Yes.
But the problem is to know. You want to know that
You have to
going
know
in.
the
You want to know their
difference.
background going in, right? Because you've gotten lucky with Jim, right? Jim could be a mass murderer. He could be the next Jeffrey Dahmer. You don't know.
Oh,
You don't know. I'm not saying you are. That would be my only real big advice moving forward. Is
Yeah.
just make sure you're vetting your potential employees, especially as you get bigger.
Yeah.
Because as you get bigger, your pool's going to get bigger to pull from.
Yeah, and we talked
Right.
about this last time. Like, I don't have as many policies in place that I should as of right now. We just kind of took off running, and we're trying to figure
You're
those
playing
things
catch
out
up.
as they come. Yeah, I really am. Like, we don't have a policy for showing up late or like not cleaning the trucks. We don't have a checklist at the end of the day. It's more of a communication thing. If we all just stay on top of each other and keep everyone in check, then we can start really operating like a well-oiled machine. And like, I've had some older guys work for me before. I threw out some feelers on Indeed and stuff like that. I'm always shooting for those younger guys that are able to connect with us on a level. Like we're trying to
get someone
create-
that's hungry in there.
Yeah. We're trying to create that work environment and show these younger kids like some new things. And some of my guys show me things about my truck and maintenance that I would have never known in my entire life. Like it's we all bounce ideas off each other every day.
Yeah.
So now that you guys, you've had your business for how long now?
About 2 years and
2.5.
4 months.
Okay, and you had your business for how long?
2 years.
Okay, so between you got 4.5 years of experience running businesses. What is it? Because I always revert back to mental health and recovery, right?
Definitely.
So, what's your mental health like now that you have your own business and you're doing what you want to do?
My mental health towards the whole last year of my company, my mental health was in the shitter.
Yeah.
It was awful. Like I said, I hated what I did. My customers, I had some great customers. I also had some pretty terrible customers. I was very blessed. I had a very good crew, a bunch of very good guys, all hard workers. They all listen, they all work hard, they all listened well, did what they were supposed to do, showed up and all that. So that was good. I was friends with all of them, went to high school, but that was good. But it was just the fact of not enjoying what I did and not having that one person. I can't say that. I had Mason, if you're out there, hello. But I had Mason. He was my
Sorry you lost your job, Mason.
Yeah, no. But
Actually, we gotta visit.
you need it, yeah.
You can reach Wade Wolfgang at.
At wolfganght.com. Come on, give me some.
You can also reach out to the Steel
Love.
City Roundtable at gmail.com, and I will forward your information over to him.
Absolutely.
Please do not call Callaghan Landscaping. We're done.
Yeah, they're done.
But
Oh, beautiful wife, you want to be on camera? See, that's what I live with. Love you, honey.
but
She's like, no.
I was blessed with a fantastic crew, but it was just the fact of not liking and enjoying what I did every day.
I mean, they say if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Precisely.
I think that's true.
And that's what we have here. That's what we have here. My dad always told me that you're either gonna like your job and not make good money, or you're gonna like who you work with or not like who you work with. But
Three things.
I've got all three. I like who I work with. I make good money. And what was the third one?
And
There's
what was it?
what was it? What are we?
You like what you
I
do.
like what I
You
do,
like who you work with, and
and
you
I make good money.
money.
That's what it is. I was
And
always
we work-
told that I would never get all three.
We work long hours, and at the end of the day, we'll still go back to the shop
It's
and
a
we'll kick
great
it,
time.
and we'll actually hang out and drink a beer and start like working on tinkering with new things and looking up new ideas and things to buy.
Wade and I will go on some crazy ass side quests, like that one
Yes.
RV we went to pick up.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
We finished
I
up a
saw that
demo.
video. That was ridiculous.
So you did see that one?
Yeah, remember you showed me the video
Yes.
of you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
out there?
Yep.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
Our
I'm not gonna
camping
divulge any of the particulars of that video,
Well,
but
it is on my Instagram if you find the link. Or
you might want to take that down at some point.
yeah, that's.
Just say it.
Well, in that sense, I mean, go check out Wolfgang Hauling at Gmail, or I mean, Wolfgang Hauling on Instagram. Check out some of our videos we make. But yeah, as far as my mental health and current, I mean, we're doing pretty good right now, but it has been a roller coaster. We touched on it last time. There were times I would get off work at like 2, 3, 4 a.m. working second shift in the lab and just throw my AirPods in. You're not supposed to do that. Throw them in, blast music, noise canceling on the drive home, and just cry my eyes out. Like there was genuinely a time where I went to school for this. Like I don't want to say wasted my time. I don't regret anything. You know, I had a great experience. The college experience and essentially running a business. I was running a fraternity down there. Gave me the experience to be like, all right, let's do this thing. Let's do this business thing. So when I started that, slowly started to go up from there. And I've been very, very blessed in my life to be able to have like my parents to help me with insurances and stuff like that. My dad's my accountant. My godfather's my SEO guy. You know, without a good team in your background, you're basically just let loose. You
can't.
got no
you can't.
structure. Yeah,
need
you
an
won't
army.
succeed. You will lose.
It takes an army.
And you know, once you start seeing the money, you think everything's good, and then you buy another vehicle, and then you're just it's a constant cycle of like, when will I ever be satisfied? That is a constant battle in my mind every single day, every hour of the day. You know, Jimmy's always throwing ideas out there like, oh, whenever we get our, you know, we're going to open up a supply yard and we're going to get a new machine and we're going to get this, we're going to get that. I'm like, let's just focus on tomorrow right now because I'm struggling to make it as it is right now. So let's just figure out what the hell we got going on, and then we'll talk about that stuff.
I mean, do you have a long-term idea of what would satisfy you? I mean, I know it's a really difficult question.
Yeah, no, I've told myself I want like 4 trucks. I want 2 more trucks from what I have right now, maybe another excavator and a skid steer. And I think if I have to rent something else later on for a larger project, I will. But I think I will be satisfied then. And I'm probably going to be eating my words at 5 years from now. But that's, you know, I want to have a life. I want to be able to have a family and be able to have some recreational time, because right now I haven't had time to do much of anything in the past 2 years. So it's tough for me, but I do love waking up and doing it.
And I mean, that's a problem with blue collar work. I mean, it's you know, like I'm property of my company for 5 days a week.
Yeah.
You know, I get my work 2 hours before I show up, and it changes all day long. So they could add 5 hours to my day. If I had plans to do something when I came home, it's over.
Do you have you know what you're going to be doing the next day, or do you wake up and you grab a clipboard?
So if I start at 5 p.m. at 3 o'clock, it comes across my phone.
Okay.
So at 3 o'clock, I see where I'm going and what
3
I have
p.m.
to do. 3 p.m.
Okay.
So then I get to work, and a lot of times by the time I get to work at 5 o'clock, it's changed at least once.
Got it.
You know, so for us, it literally is like, don't look at your phone until you get to work.
Yeah.
You know, look at it to make sure you're not doing a layover run.
Yeah.
But don't pay attention to what's on there.
So do you like sleep in the cab and you go on like trips, or you're always
I-
coming back to the shop at the end of the day?
No, I'm a local driver, but we do layovers. Like I just did a layover up in Rochester, up like 2 hours east of Rochester.
It's gotta be fun sometimes.
I like doing the layovers, man. You know, it's kind of nice to just know I have, 400 miles to drive that day, make my delivery, and then go to a hotel and crash. It's actually like a lighter day.
Oh, so you just crash at a hotel?
I just get a hotel. The company pays for it. You know, I got a credit card for like $25,000 for the company.
Yeah.
You know, they don't question you when you stay at a hotel. But, you know, I like doing that like once a week or once every couple of weeks. I don't want to do that every day.
Yeah.
You know, and I could probably say, hey, listen, I'll do a layover whenever you want. And then they're going to just ram it.
Just
You know,
pile it on.
Then they're going to pile it on. But, you know, I did Rochester this week. I had a layover in Buffalo the week before that. I had a layover in Rochester the week before that. So, you know, it's different. I have a lot of variety in what I do, but it's the same thing once I get there.
Yeah.
You know, the delivery's the same, standing around for an hour and a half. You know, it gets kind of monotonous, but
I was gonna say, what's your thought process like when you're sitting there staring at the dotted lines throughout the day? You going podcast, music, phone calls? Are you allowed to listen to
Can't
talk
talk on the
phone?
phone.
No, the whole time. Damn.
I mean, you can use your phone.
I would go crazy.
You have to
Yeah.
pull over
I
and
would go
stop.
Crazy.
You know, pull off the road safely if you want to use your phone, or you know, you can do it when you get to your delivery. You just can't use a phone for any reason inside a car.
So are you
inside the
listening to
truck.
music and just throwing it on the
I
radio?
kind of have a rhythm.
Yeah.
While it's light out, which is a little tough right this time of year,
Yeah.
it's usually music.
Yeah.
I go from like, house music to heavy music.
Okay.
Throughout the day, I listen to music
that
for about
little
3-4 hours, and then once I start, when I'm working my way back to the terminal, I switch over to podcasts and audiobooks.
On the way home.
I love science fiction audiobooks.
That was a big thing for me on my drive homes, when I wasn't freaking out at 3 a.m. Like I would throw on an audiobook, like a little bit of inspiration to start a business. And that's what gave me the motivation to actually kick on and do it.
Like that's
I am
what
listening
Wade
to a
and I
book
do
right now that's 28 hours long.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a book, Your 5 Next Moves by Patrick Bet-David. I'm not a big book guy. You definitely got to check that one out. That one gives me chills. Every single chapter gives me chills.
Yeah, it
Absolutely
took him
fantastic.
like 8 years, 9 years to get his thing up and running
Mhm.
to where it is now.
Unbelievable.
That's what Wade and I do now is the phone calls. Like we'll work
Oh, yeah.
together for 10 hours and we'll have a 2-hour drive home. Like, hey, you want to hop on the phone? Like, yeah.
So
we'll just
I
chat
can't
the whole
haul
way
the
home.
machine. So if
Yeah.
there's a job that requires a machine, Jim's in his truck and trailer behind me, and I'm just driving the dump truck, and we'll
We just chat.
Literally,
That's all I do on my
literally
drive.
talk
I
the
just call
entire
people.
day.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part of my job, is not having someone to
Just
talk
sit
to.
and s- oh,
You know,
That's gotta be tough.
it's
terrible.
It can.
You can't even have 2 hands.
no like earbuds, nothing.
No.
Wow.
When I was drinking, it was horrendous for me to go to work. It was 14 hours of just. I always like to say the
You're in
worst
your
thing
own
you can do is park yourself in a truck with someone you hate for 24 hours or 14 hours, and that's what I did. I was by myself. I hated myself, and it was miserable. Like I just wanted to talk to somebody on the phone just to take my
Yeah.
mind off the
Yeah.
shit.
Uh-huh.
And it was just daily. It was just a struggle.
Yeah.
Since I got sober now, like I'm okay, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm comfortable in
It's
my
a little
skin
more
finally.
clear. Yeah, you can actually.
You know, And that's the thing that people don't understand is like, a lot of these jobs out there can be solitary.
Yeah, no.
You could be by yourself all day.
I get bullied for it because I'm an operator, and
Yeah.
I'll sometimes I'll sit in the excavator for 10 hours. That shit sucks after like 8 hours. People are like, oh, you're sitting in a nice warm machine. It's like, yeah, it's great when I'm talking to the voices in my head.
Yeah, you get
Like,
bored.
yeah.
We were doing a job like, what was it, 2 weeks ago? There's no service. We're in the middle. I can't
No
listen to
service.
music. I'm sitting there in the excavator. I'm like having conversations with myself.
It's like a 3-day project. Yeah, it's like 4 degrees outside. We're warming up in the truck, going out and working for 10 minutes, coming back.
I'll be getting into an argument with myself and losing.
I mean, we
all
had a guy quit our company because he said not being able to talk on the phone was negatively affecting his mental health, and I can understand.
That's so true.
And I can understand. The company doesn't, unfortunately, I don't think companies realize that that's real.
Yeah.
Like that is real. Like
It does
human
take some of
contact.
your mental capacity when you're
You need.
you're driving the
human
highway.
interaction.
We're pack animals.
Yes.
We need human contact in order to be.
Sorry.
Oh boy. But, in order for us to thrive, we need to have social contact.
Absolutely.
Because that helps. With the natural chemical releases within our body,
Yeah.
it helps with our regulation of our emotions. There's a lot of things that go wrong when you have no physical contact and no social contact.
Here's a big thing: is like the people that I grew up with are 300 miles away in
Yeah.
Eastern PA. I don't have many friends out here other than my Cal buddies, my college buddies, but they're all graduating right now. So when it comes down to it, like I enjoy hanging out with these guys. Like work feels like a hangout for me.
Absolutely.
And I try to explain that to like Emily, like whenever we're working after hours and we're going till 7, 8, 9, 10 p.m. Like
Hanging out with the boys.
I kind of need that. Like as much
Yeah.
as I want to, everyone dreams of this passive income and you're going to, just throw it on the schedule and everything gets done. Like, no, like I'm still learning. I'm still learning every single day. So I'm not going to throw them into a position that I wouldn't be able, I still need to be alongside them for the next, 1, 2, 3, 4 years. Whereas some other people, my other buddies doing junk removal, they have a VA set up. They don't even take calls anymore. They're not handling, equipment in the morning. They just let their guys do their thing. But I feel like we're building something different over here and trying to actually create like a positive work environment while getting shit done. As
Yeah.
crazy as it sounds, it's doable.
Jumping back to what we were talking about earlier about mental health and owning a business, that's a huge part of owning a business. Is there's no social life.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
absolutely it's like I would do the same shit with my guys because we have a pool at my house. It was hot out. It's like, hey, we work like a 10-hour day or a 12-hour day. It's like, hey, you guys want to go back to the house and make some steaks, jump in the
Might
pool?
as well become friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like that's
Go over to the
what it
campground.
is because there's no social life. There's no time with it. So you have to be close with your guys because that's all you got.
Well, what do they say? It's 5 years or so before you start to make you
That's what they
potentially
say, yeah.
5 years
Mhm.
before you'll start to see a profit, an actual profit where you
Yes.
keep the money.
Which I think that's pretty accurate. I'm still like upwards of like 150 grand in debt, believe it or not. I
Yeah.
try to explain that to my guy. I'm like, whenever, like, say 5 years from now, whenever things actually start getting there, it's like,
Oh, don't worry,
just-
I'm poor.
yeah. Right now, I have less money than all of my guys.
Yeah.
If you really think about
Yeah.
it, like, it's not a joke.
I mean, and when you start a business, the one thing I think you have to have is you cannot be afraid to fail.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
no option.
You got to get my buddy, hi Aaron, but my
Failure's
buddy
not an option.
just started a business and he was losing money on this project. I told him, I was like, Aaron, if you're gonna do this, you got to get real comfortable with the idea of losing money.
Yeah.
'Cause it's gonna happen, and you're gonna lose big. You're gonna have a big kid loss one day. You're gonna fucking get over it, and you're gonna go to work the next day, and it's all gonna be fine. You gotta get
I mean,
real
the thing is,
comfortable with
failure is not a bad thing.
Mhm.
Like everybody, it's like success and failure. It's black and white. Success, you make money, you have a nice car, you have 2 cars, you have the beautiful wife, you have the vacations every 3 months. And then failure is anybody who doesn't have
Yeah.
that, right? And I think,
Everyone's version of failure is completely different.
yes, it's subjective. And I think the one thing we have to remember in life in general is that we aren't where we are and who we are despite our failures
Mhm.
and despite our successes. We are who we are because
Exactly.
of our failures and successes. So every failure is a success.
it. It's a
You know,
lesson.
it's a lesson. If you're not learning,
Yeah.
then you're not
Yeah,
living.
exactly.
You're not living if you don't learn.
Like, especially like this morning, I'm literally underneath my excavator trying to figure out where this leak is coming from. I'm getting dirt and fluid dripping on my face and my arms. Like, it's completely ridiculous. And I'm stressing, freaking out. And then I just kind of take a quick second to look around and be like,
This is mine.
this
is
is my
cool.
machine. And like, my
Yeah.
truck's over there and that one's working. And like, I have a house that I can sleep in and like a family and I have 2 cats at home. Like, maybe things aren't that bad. Maybe we just got to let this be a lesson. You'll learn. You lose or you learn. Or you win or you learn.
I tell this motherfucker all the time.
And it's
He'll
not gonna
be
change.
stressing
Maybe
out of
one
his
day.
mind. It's stressed out of his mind. I tell him, like, Wade, you gotta chill the fuck out. It's
Yeah.
all good.
And he'll start making jokes during those times. I'm like, Jim,
He's
shut the
sitting
fuck
there, he
up,
wants
man.
to like deck me in the face. I'm like, dude,
I mean, you got to be open to suggestion, right? Like
Always.
when you guys were here last week, you said, "Why don't you change your setup a little bit?" And I thought about it, and I was like, "Nah, fuck that guy. What does he know?" And then I came home one
Right.
night after work, and I'm like, well, maybe
I
that'll
do
work.
like this.
Maybe
Yeah.
that'll work.
Right,
So I
yeah.
moved everything around. But like this is an LLC too. I'm not making any money, so I am losing money all the time. I just, I wanted.
it's a passion project.
It's the I'm trying to think of how to put this. It's the inherent ability to affect others' lives in a positive way that makes this worthwhile.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
know you're making a difference. You
You know?
might not be making
Absolutely.
money, but you're doing. You will if you continue going about your passion in the
Yeah.
way you are. That's
And I mean,
what it is.
this is my way of, like I never tell anybody like, oh, I know this or I know that. I know alcoholism. I know my life, and that's what I tend to talk about, and that's what I tend to not give advice, but speak really truthfully about,
based on your experience.
based on what I know about me and what I went through. Because I feel that you're going to be the same way. When you're 40 and you've had this business for 15 years and you're successful and you've got 3 crews running and you're doing these big ass fucking jobs, and you could sit down and pull somebody aside and be like, hey man, like listen, I said, I can see you've got the motivation, I can see
Yes.
you've got the drive, let me help you along,
Yes.
right? Let me give you a little bit of information that might push you in the right direction.
Yes.
That's all I'm trying to do here,
exactly.
is a little bit of information. And like, you guys aren't my normal guests,
Mhm.
but you have something to say.
Yes.
You have a way to help people, someone who wants to start a business,
Oh yes.
or maybe someone's looking for a job.
Even if
Like,
you're struggling, yeah, start doing your passion on the side. Make it a side gig until it turns into something that you can actually make money.
yeah, I
know?
think the way you become successful is to think of success in multiple dimensions.
I think you have
There's
to
the-
think
there's
about
the
it in terms
financial
of
success,
others
right?
as well.
There's
Yeah.
the financial success, right?
Yeah.
There's the emotional, mental success.
Yeah.
Am I happy?
Yes.
Am I living a good life?
Yeah.
There's the family. Like, is your family reaping the rewards of
Yes.
your work? Like, are they seeing you that you're happy and that you're relaxed and that you can do the things you want to do? It's not just black or white. It's not just, well, this worked or this didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's we as a society in the U.S., we are so stuck on the idea of money.
Yeah.
Money is
Oh,
the
yeah.
only thing people think of when they think of success.
And that's not what I try
Yeah.
to think about that every fucking day. Like, I might not be swimming in it right now, but goddamn, I love what I'm doing. I absolutely love what I'm doing. And my buddies will say like, yeah, when I get to 1 million or when I get to 5 million, then I'll be happy. Like, what are you
No, you
what are you
won't,
talking
yeah.
about? Then you'll be shooting for 10 or 20. Like, when is it really going to come down to it where I'm making just a healthy amount of money and just doing what I enjoy? And cutting it at that.
I always thought that, and Wade knows this. I always thought I was the type of person I'd rather be rich and sad than poor and happy,
No,
and
get the hell out of
that's so not. Over the past year and a half, and owning a business, I've found that is so not true. Like that is so not, because what I say now is I'd rather be like comfortable and okay with it.
Well, I mean, it's just like
That's where
it's
I'm
like
at.
being a dry drunk. You could be sober and miserable
Yeah.
because you're not living a good life.
Mhm.
You can be the same way and have all the money in the world,
Exactly.
and still be a miserable human being because
Absolutely.
listen, success and failure, they breed a better human condition.
Mhm.
I think people in general, if you're not challenged, if you don't face adversity, you don't learn how to fight.
Yeah.
You don't learn how to share.
You have to
don't learn how
struggle.
to trust.
Yes.
And all these things happen and you become a better human
Yes.
when you face adversity.
Yes.
But that's only if you face it head on and you're willing to take the challenge and fight back.
Yeah, you have to
You know,
tackle it head
so
on.
many people in your position after 6 months of a year would have given up already
Will grow up into a ball.
and just walked away because it was too hard.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with recovery. Recovery is hard.
Yeah.
But if you put your money where your mouth is and you fucking fight,
You do it.
it's possible.
Yeah.
I'm coming up on 32 months sober. It's insane for me, right?
Congratulations, brother.
You
Yes,
know,
absolutely.
And that's I think above all, that's why my motto is share, help, repeat. It's talk about your experiences and your stories. Help everybody you can whenever you can,
Yes.
and do it as much as you can.
Yes.
Because I think society for us is so jaded and divided right now. And it's for 1,000 reasons. If two people can come together
Yep.
that don't know each other and start something fucking pretty surreal together, like it's going to
So
make you a better
the
person.
reason this came about was because Jimmy had a job that he was struggling on.
Go into the
You
story
know,
about how you two met.
he was supposed to have a truck available to him to get rid of all of the debris and stuff that they were removing for this retaining wall, right? I'm talking, it was close to like 8,000 pounds of railroad ties that he was looking to get removed. And he had his worker call me. Yeah, had his worker call me, and I tried to sell him on the point of like, yeah, we can fit a lot of shit in here. We have a machine to help load it up. I'm finishing up my day early today, and I'll be over there in like an hour. And they were like, you only have a small dumpster. I don't know if it's gonna work. And I was like, no, I can tell in the tone of their voice that like you guys are struggling. We were
in the fucking trenches with that one.
Yeah. So I was like, no, like I'm on my way. And they were like, well, I don't know if we really need you. Can we still? I was like, well, is the stuff still there? Yeah, but I was like, okay, then I'll be there in 20 minutes. And to bring it all around, like this cliche as it sounds, like money is not the focus for me. It's more so like sticking my neck out for people that are experiencing some of the worst days of their lives. Like when a family member passes or somebody gets evicted or, a tree falls through their house or their garage, like we come in and we have to try to make a positive situation out of a negative one and make sure that they're in good hands. And I feel like whenever you're chasing the actual will to want to help people, success will then come. I'm not here to get an insurance job and make, try to make more than I should. I'm going to be there and I'm going to stick my neck out and help people, hopefully hoping that it will come back at some point, which he's a living example of.
Yeah.
Well, I think when you do that, when you have that as one of your core values, is you want to help others.
Yeah.
It makes the failures not burn as much.
Yeah, it's
Precisely.
It makes you realize like, hey, I may have not done what I wanted to do, but
Yeah.
I tried because of this reason, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And you become a better person over time. Like, I'm not saying you're a bad person now, but I just think
course.
people become better. I think people become better when they see the effect they can have, the positive effect they
Absolutely.
can have on another person's life.
Yes.
Like I'm going to leave here today. Well, not you're going to leave here today. I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to be happy, because I shot a podcast with two cool dudes that
Yeah.
fucking, are struggling, but they're working hard. And they're, now I got a guy to fucking do my retaining wall next year and
Oh, yeah,
maybe some
dude.
landscaping,
yeah.
Anything you need. Yeah.
Yeah.
connections, bro.
Yeah.
It's all
Let's do it.
Yes.
I mean, I'll advertise for you, but
Mhm.
probably won't help much because I have like 8 viewers.
We'll take
But-
everything we can
You got
get.
more followers on Instagram than I do.
Well, we hit 229 on YouTube this week. We had a big week. We went up like
Nice.
8 viewers this week. And
Subscribers?
yeah, we went up 8 subscribers this week. Like, and so if you calculate it out, I've been doing this for 21 months.
Okay.
So it's like 10 a month.
Wow. That's really good.
So if I can
feel
keep building
that's
like that,
above average.
you know,
Yeah.
when I get done with the podcast, when I shoot one and I put it out, I try not to look at the likes and the views. I try to look at the shares.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I want to see if someone is passing it on to somebody else. Because so many people don't make comments on this stuff, or if they do, they make a negative smart ass comment. They say something stupid.
Yeah.
right? Because they're keyboard
They have nothing
warriors.
better to do.
You know, they're network assassins. You know, they just want to sit there and fucking cause problems, right? So I try not to look at comments, but my wife's like, you have to look at the comments, you have to respond because you have to engage with people. And I'm like, listen, I don't want to engage with that asshole that makes a comment because I'm going to say something that's going to even make it worse.
Yeah.
So
All
I
you
have
gotta
to
say
just
is,
ignore those
thanks
comments.
for the
Oh,
comment.
man, you got to kill them with kindness.
Yeah.
We get customers that
I just delete their comments.
customers will tell us we don't have enough experience.
We talked about that last time.
Yeah, like, you know, I don't put every single project out there, but, you know, I try to make videos whenever I can. And a customer to tell me that I don't have enough experience, maybe because I'm young, maybe because of, you know, how I presented myself. You know, I just try to be personable with every single person that walks in. You know, if we get an older lady, hi, ma'am, how are you doing? If we get a guy like you, what's up, brother? What do you need help with? I try to just be a helping hand in somebody that doesn't have somebody to help them remove something as easy as like a plastic box or like anything. Some people just don't have anyone to lend a hand.
You know, sometimes we do come off as like a ragtag crew. I mean, we're
We
four
show up,
literal
we're
fucking
we're
teenagers.
throwing jokes out there, but we get it
but
done.
we get
man.
shit done
We get it done
every
well.
day.
Yeah.
Well, and we go that
Every
extra
day.
mile to make sure the
Mhm.
job's clean. And I wanted to still touch back into like your
Yeah.
experience when this all unfolded, because like what was that project like, that turning point of when
My
we showed
project.
up? Yeah, like
Oh my!
what was your first impression?
This motherfucker
on
rolled
us
up
and
in
that,
his
like,
big old F600 with an MT100. I was like, all right, this guy knows.
the new
It's like he
machine,
knows.
yeah,
He knows what's going on.
brand new machine
Yeah. So he rolls up, scrapes the fuck out of the customer's driveway.
with the machine.
Yeah, you came in there and you put a massive gallons in his driveway. He was pissed about that. But anyway, so he shows up. We're looking at him. He's like, yeah, that's one load. We're like, nah.
I said, we're fitting this all into one load.
All right. Fucking put it in there. One full load, and he pulled it up. I'm looking. I'm like, wow, holy shit, they did that.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing he did, one of my guys was struggling to put the track back on our machine.
Yeah, he's talking to the customer as soon as I show up. I don't even know which one is Jim at this point.
And he goes over and he helps Aaron out. He's like, oh, just do this and put the track back on and just pop right back on. So he helped them out over there. He wasn't, you know, he didn't know who was helping or who it was. If it was boss, foreman, employee, guy's first day. He went in, helped out, got the shit done, gave me a good price, and that was it. And then we were friends from there. Literally from that moment, it was like, oh, that dude was cool.
I tried stealing one of his workers, and we have a joke.
You
where
got the
I
guy.
stole the boss.
The guy.
Like, he calls me that night, and I thought he was going to be pissed about me trying to recruit one of his
He's like,
guys.
bro, give me a fucking job. Get me out of
He's
this
like, "Give me a
shithole.
foreman." I was like,
Get me out.
yeah. And this was like a week or two after one of my employees just recently tried to steal from me, and I was like, yeah, giddy up, let's do it. Everything happens for a reason.
The
He
universe,
thought
the
I was
universe
joking.
works in weird ways. Weird ways. Like people are thrown in front of you for a
Every
reason.
single step is
Yeah.
because of
I'm a
something.
very firm believer that everything happens for a reason.
I am a firm believer that you are introduced to people that are going to have an effect in your life, whether it's negative or positive, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But they're going to affect you. You're not just meeting people to meet people. You're meeting people because they're going to affect your future. You know, and that's just, you know,
And you have to look at it that way, because when you look at it from that perspective, it really opens up your mind to see, it's like, okay, like how can I make this make sense for me?
Yeah.
You know, what you can kind of like forecast that
Yeah.
almost if you look at it in that light. So, and that again, it could play to your benefit or it could play to your downfall. It's up to you. It's not the card you're dealt, it's what you do with them.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
what's it like competing with these big ass fucking companies?
Bring it on.
But I mean, do they treat you like you're the fucking new kid on the block, like you don't know what the fuck you're doing?
Some of them.
Yeah, it depends on if we actually like get like every once in a while. The other day, we actually went to a job, and another company pulled up to the same job that we
Yeah.
were at, and we're like, "What the hell is going on here?" And
It's
we're
like,
like, "We
Yeah, fuck, dude. We
yeah,
stole your
we
contract.
did this.
Sorry.
You know, we got the job."
Yeah.
But I think we're on the radar right now because my website person, Pam, she's unbelievable. Like we have close to 300 reviews online. If you AI junk removal company Pittsburgh, or deck removal, or garage removal, hot tub demo,
You're one of the
concrete
first ones
demo,
that came up from Monroeville.
we will be the first for damn near every service in the service locations that we are ranking for.
Yeah.
So like other companies have heard of us that have been in business well before us. Some older folks that don't know how to use all the resources to their advantage. So they've heard of us. Like, yeah, I've heard of Wolfgang Alling, this fucking guy. Yeah, I haven't heard of you. So
Yeah,
we
they're
must
saying,
be-
yeah, they underbid me on this
We must
job.
be-
They underbid me on that job.
Yeah, because we can sometimes. Sometimes I'll take that one just to get that experience, even if I don't make that much money. Our
Yeah.
first couple like mobile homes that we've done, I didn't even do them. I had somebody else. I would sub out one of my buddies that has an excavator, and we would just remove the debris for him, just to learn, just to go get a review out of it.
I mean, we're not scared of the big guys.
No.
Fucking bring it on. We're taking your legs
Well,
out.
I mean, I
from
think you
underneath.
have.
That's what
I
it
think
is.
you have a niche. You know what I mean? I think you have a niche because, I don't want to say all big companies are just out to make money, but all big companies are just
They
out there
didn't
to
get
make money.
big, not making
They,
money.
yeah, they didn't get big, and they didn't get all these crews so that the foreman and the boss, the owner, can sit there and fucking dig ditches all day long, right?
And they're short with you too. They're just they're looking at the price tag. Let me get it done. Yeah, I might be able to get it in. No, when
Yeah.
do you need it done?
Yeah.
I will go out of my way to make sure that happens for you in a timely manner. Like,
So when you bid
being
jobs,
reliable, answering the phone.
excuse me, when you bid jobs, do you build it so that you give a little bit of cushion on the deadlines? Because I know when I had my fence built, the guy said this long and it took way longer.
Yeah. So it depends on what service we're talking. If
That
it's like
wall
a
job.
shed or a deck or a garage, it's based on square footage, purely square footage, depending on if it's in their backyard or if it's where I can get a truck next to. That's firm, very firm. I'll give them a timeline of how long it's going to take. We're usually pretty dead
Pretty
on with
close,
that,
Yeah.
unless weather plays a role. But there's been times where we've quoted concrete removals where we estimated them to be 3 inches thick, and they've ended up being 9 inches thick, and there's no way to plan for that if you don't know what you're walking into. So that's where we're transparent with them, is in the fact that, like, if this ends up being thicker than we think, your price is subject to change, but we always err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
Always try to shoot higher. If it ends up being one less load, we typically go lower, depending on the job. So we are always trying to be
We're
transparent.
not stealing that
sending
extra dollar
pictures.
off the top
Yeah.
just because we can.
So what's the biggest challenges you're facing right now?
Excavator broken.
Yeah, a lot of things are breaking right now. More so just logistics. Being able to handle like a large, heavy job. I can only hold like 10,000 pounds in my truck at a time. So we're looking to expand on not having to rent machines, as well as just being able to get the job done as quickly as we can. I'm very, very hard on myself. I have very high standards for myself. So whenever a job takes longer than we expect, I kick myself for it, and I try to find a way to prevent that in the future.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't say we're really struggling too much right now. We're doing all the right things. We just need to figure out our roles and act on them, and actually go the extra mile so that it's ready for the next day, instead of spending an hour or two in the morning trying to fix
getting
shit
everything
and
ready.
charge batteries when we forget.
I mean, you are a young guy, so structure is something that's difficult to
Absolutely.
to fucking nail down
I
when
mean,
you have something like that.
There are some,
Just open
there
my
are
eyes and,
some
like,
days it's
what
just
are
a
our
shit
biggest
show.
struggles? Like,
I mean,
we're kicking ass, dude.
That's the pros and cons list, brother. The pros and cons list, always.
there are some days that it's really good, and there are some other days it's just a total shit show. But I mean, there's nothing that, other than just like total, like holistically, just organization of
Yeah.
everything. That's
Yeah.
our big issue right now.
That's our biggest issue.
Is shit shit is supposed to be over here, but it ends up over there. And if it's not over there, then nobody knows where the fuck it is. Like, that's our biggest issue right now, is just making sure that everything has a home and it makes it back to that place at the end of the day.
That and like time, just trying. I try to schedule to an 8-hour day. Sometimes it takes 6 hours, sometimes it takes 15.
Yeah.
And my guys won't complain. They will get down and dirty, and they will work those long hours. But I try not to, consume their entire lives, because we're all people.
I'm gonna start with you on this one, Jim. Is seeing all the things that you've done in the last 5 years of your life, what would you do, if anything, differently?
Whoa. Does that have to be related to a specific?
Just your life in general. You go as deep as you want. You stay
my
on the
life in
surface. I don't
general?
care. I just want people to show that you're successful right now, right? You're succeeding in what you're doing.
Doing very well.
But I think everybody at some point either wishes they could do something differently, or they look back on something and go, well, I'm not going to do it that way next time, right?
I would spend a lot less time on relationships, more friendships, less romantic relationships, definitely, and more. I would have started investing in my future a lot earlier. If I knew now, like if I could go back 5 years with the knowledge I have now, I would have invested so much more in my future. Not even
Financially?
not just financially, just like in the terms of knowledge.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying I would have gone to college, but I would have definitely paid attention more in high school, because I didn't do this. High school was a 4-year-long social event for me.
Yeah.
I graduated and I
Yeah.
did okay, but I should have paid more attention in high school. I should have focused on making more lifelong connections as opposed to just flinging around with people doing whatever I do and just investing in my future.
And I mean, granted, you are only 21.
Yes.
Like, fuck, dude.
It's fucking nuts, dude. Listen, like, oh.
Like, fuck, I have more regrets in the last week than you have in your entire life. What about you, Wade?
When you first asked that, I always like to say, like, I wouldn't change a thing.
Liar.
But yeah, there's always something.
And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but like,
Yeah.
we always learn from even if it's not a mistake, we learn from our successes too.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Like, you may get a job done in a week and you're like, well, I could have cut this corner. I
Yeah.
could have fucking saved time here.
Always
I could
look
have
for
saved money
position.
here. Like, we're always going to learn from everything we do. So it's good to think about
Yes.
the things that we might do differently or, in life in general,
Yeah. So the question I get asked all the time to try to wrap this around full circle is like, you hauled junk and you went to school for chemistry? Like, what? That's ridiculous. That's retarded, for lack of better words. Like, why do you regret that? And I always say, no, fuck no, I don't regret it. I may regret what I went to school for, but that has shown me the foundations of like all of life without getting too deep into it. Chemistry stays the same no matter where you are in the entire world. So like, it has developed my like knowledge as a human being to see things differently. And also the workload that I was put on in chemistry like gives me the motivation and the fulfillment, honestly, because like my brother went to school for mechanical engineering, massive STEM degree, went to University of Maryland, a big school. He was in a fraternity, so I wanted to follow my brother's footsteps ever since I was younger. He played baseball, I played baseball. He played drums, I played drums. Like, I always wanted to just be like him, and I shot for the stars doing chemistry. And do I regret it? No. Like, fuck no, absolutely not. Everything happens for a reason. Once again, college was also a 4-year social event for me, but I graduated with like a 3.68
Yeah.
GPA in chemistry, minor environmental science, president of chemistry club, president of the fraternity, while balancing the workload of chemistry and partying every day, like damn near every day. Like, it was that has shown me what my limits are, as well as what my lowest downfalls are, because it hasn't been always so positive in college. Like, there was a time where we had 4 guys in the fraternity, and I felt like the 300 people that were in the organization before me, I was going to let them down. So I fucking busted my ass to recruit 6 guys that week or that semester. And that showed me that like, I can recruit guys and I can plan events and I can also budget for future events and, be a civilized human being. That's what college is. College really just like shows you that it's not about what you learn in the classroom. It's about all the things that you went through to become who you are today, successes and failures.
I'm glad you said that.
And I don't regret it.
I'm glad you said that because, one of the downfalls with colleges now, in my mind, is that, it's not like it was 25 years ago where you got a college degree and that gave you a step up on the market
Yeah.
to get a job. It does not matter if
It
you have a
doesn't.
degree now.
Doesn't
It's
matter.
everything else that you do around that degree.
Nope.
So I think the biggest thing you learn in college is how to be an individual and how to be a team player,
Functioning human
how
being,
to operate in the regular world.
And you know what's also crazy, not to cut you off, is that I just went down to visit my professors down at Cal U a couple weeks ago for Thanksgiving, and I told them about the business, and I was scared to do that. I walked in with my hat on and my logo, and I said, I'm not doing chemistry anymore. And I thought they were going to be upset at me, and all of them gave me a pat on the back and gave me the reassurance that I needed, that like they instilled it in me to be able to start this business.
Yeah.
And it damn near brought a tear to my eye, because I was like, wow, they actually are supporting me in this endeavor, and I'm not doing chemistry anymore. Like, that meant the absolute world to me,
And I think that's something important for people to remember is that, the people that you surround yourself with, there's good, there's bad, there's indifferent, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the ones that affect you positively, you'll never forget.
No,
You'll
absolutely.
never forget them, and they'll never forget you.
Yep, they all play
You
a
know?
role.
No, you never forget a good teacher.
No,
Ever.
no. And teachers
Friends,
remember good
classmates,
students.
Yeah, of course.
So we are at, we're almost in an hour again. This
Yeah.
goes fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys, what advice, Jim, do you have for anybody out there, any aspect of life, whether it's starting a business or dealing with mental health? What are some things that you would put out there for good mojo?
Be well researched and well educated in the things that matter most to you. Make good connections, healthy connections with people. Don't be afraid to go out and make friends, talk to new people, because it's all in connections. It's who you know. That's what it is. It's who you know. But yeah, just be well researched in what matters most to you, and find something that makes you happy and go do that every day.
Yeah.
Wade?
That's that's the biggest thing that I was going to touch on is, you know, go have those hard conversations. Like those conversations at the gas station or at a job or in class or anything. Go out and ask the tough questions. Like, you have to become comfortable with the uncomfortable in order to really like see your full potential. And I'm extremely hard on myself, but I try to see the good in every single person that I speak to, because they know something that I don't. Out of everything, it might sound selfish, but out of every conversation I have with someone, I try to gather something that I can put in my back pocket and take with me on to the next job or next task of life.
I like it.
So, you know, if you have that itch, that thing that, you know, when you're sitting on your phone scrolling, you're just trying to get to that next idea or something, act on it. Do it. Go out and try, and don't be afraid of failure.
Do the crazy thing.
Yes. Sometimes, you know, people say grind in silence. No, you gotta bounce your ideas off your friends and family and get a good idea of how to act on something that you have an idea about. Because if you don't, you're going to regret it. If I didn't start this business, I would be still not fulfilled. I just wouldn't be all together there. And that's brought me to this table right now, and I'm very, very, very blessed to be a part of it.
I'm glad to have you guys. Why don't you put your contacts out there one more time?
Yes. So go check us out at Wolfgang Hauling on Instagram, Facebook. We're going to get into YouTube here soon, but check out the website, wolfganghd.com. Give me a call. We'll be happy to help you out in any way we can.
Yeah.
All right, folks, another episode down and going, but be fearless, fuckers. Don't be afraid to make the changes to better your life and better those around you.
Yeah.
He did it again. Thanks again for joining Steel City Roundtable. Thanks, Wade. Thanks, Jim. We're out.
Of course. Happy to be here.
Yes, sir.